entire building is stuck.
Coming right at us.
Obviously, this is a devastating development.
They're gone. The World Trade Center is no more.
Disappointed in, do you think that people would be so motivated to take such extreme action against this nation when a bunch of innocent people lost their lives?
After 9/11, there was an outpouring amongst some of the most conservative people in this country saying, oh no, not all Muslims are like this, not all Muslims are like this at all, you know, we have to reach out to the Muslim world and what have you. That's totally been flipped on its head.
Every Muslim is not terrorist. You know, they just choose to be Muslim. It's just a religion.
Boycott Israel!
Hey, fuck you!
Our nation has taken a very serious detour since 9/11. Even before 9/11, we had the stigma of profiling that was both racial and ethnic based. In post 9/11, we saw America retreated to fear. And that fear was used for political reasons, to separate us from each other, and to separate us from people of other lands and other religions. This has been a very dangerous thing for America.
Ever since September 11, there has been a tremendous decline in respect for law and respect for due process. And things that were seen as defining features of America are no longer defining feature. Not only at Guantanamo prison and what happened at Abu Ghraib in Iraq, but also what's happening in America.
Bibles and glorious Qurans, the books that take you to heaven and let you meet the Lord there, have become misinterpreted reasons for warfare.
The project building the mosque close to ground zero, I probably will say no.
They can build a mosque somewhere else. That's like saying we did this and we're not take over here.
When you live in a community, you're part of the community, and you know their feelings, their thoughts. It's very important. I just happens to be the random guy every single time I get on the plane. I don't know how random that is, but I go get pulled on the side.
We have a lot of different nationalities that work here at the airport, and it doesn't appear, I mean, they don't just check them, they check everybody. And in a way, it's kind of understandable that you check those folks because, you know, they're of the nationality that that we fear most here in America.
I have some family members, they have similar names to some of those names that they might be on the watch list, and they have a really hard time. They go to the strip search, isolated rooms, questions, and it has made it somewhat difficult, but if that's what gives the peace of mind to the people who are on the plane with us, I guess it's worth an extra 10-15 minutes.
Well, I know if you don't search a Muslim or old lady at the airport, I'd search the Muslim. They can say it's racially profiling or whatever, but they're the ones that are doing the dirty work.
We're looking at people who, as Muslims, many chose to come to America. Think about what it means to love America so much that you leave another land, come here, and then find that love rejected or spurned, or worse than that, put in a position of suspicion.
To be able to understand, you have to become an immigrant. I can't explain to you, like, you just feel it. Like this person smiling, all that, when they see you, they stop and they change and they become a totally different personality in like 20 seconds. What happened to that person that was smiling 20 seconds ago and trying to help as best as they can? And then 20 seconds later, all is that gone.
They used to come to the parties and barbecues and all that stuff. And now you feel that in your community, you feel that in your business. We come across some people, you know, who come in here and ask us, where are you guys from? We tell them where we're from. And, oh, okay. And then you don't see them again.
All the people that are interned in that concentration camp, torture center down at Guantanamo Bay,
all the people in the black sites and whatever goddamn countries they happen to be in. There's a bunch of those, all the locations that people have been renditioned to as well. Those are all political prisoners in a strict sense, every single one of them. The United States claims not to have any, but there you have it. The United States also claims to be the land of the free, and yet it has, in both real numbers and proportionately, the largest chunk of its population behind bars of any country on the planet.
The United States is a country that has a lot of opportunities, and unfortunately there's a lot of people that takes this as a granted. They do not take the importance of what kind of life they have. They can be in a poor life, but they have to thank God every day and say, you know what, I have a very good life, you know, I can support myself, whatever I want to eat, I can eat. But there's a lot of countries that won't do that.
This is a country of immigrants. I wish it was more of a country of legal immigrants. This is an extraordinarily tolerant country. Certainly more so than say the countries in the Middle East are tolerant of other religions and faiths.
Americans, I find, are very culturally superior, or believe they're culturally superior. There's no concept of relativity. It's very hard to put ourselves in the shoes of other people's and be able to see things from their perspective.
What's happening with the people in terms of profiling, religious profiling, what's happening in terms of wiretapping, what's happening in terms of being harassed at place of work, what's happening in terms of exclusion, and the way Muslims in Islam are made a football in the contest among various candidates. So all of those are causes of concern. They definitely hurt the community who is being excluded, but they will hurt America far more, because America will become no different than any other kind of an oppressive and autocratic society.
The government is using this so-called war on terror to spy on our own citizens, to tap phones of our own citizens, to open the mail of our own citizens. When the government has used this war on terror for illegal detention, for rendition, for war, we understand that we are at an urgent moment in the history of this country. And our Muslim brothers and sisters understand that better than anyone else.
What's happening, there, I think is now well known that there were no weapons of mass destruction. And the sad story is that a very large number of people, roughly about 25% of the population of Iraq, have been made homeless. More than 1.5 million people have been killed, and that's the statistic.
You just have to go on with your life without getting any trouble. That's what I believe in. The whole world knows that the United States had a bad decision about doing that, because let's forget about how many people died there. How many American soldiers died? I mean, why would you want to do that? How much billions of dollars spent in there?
I know my son-in-law's in the army, and he served 30 months in Iraq, and he says you didn't know who to trust over there.
Nowhere in Islam says that you should kill innocent people.
They had little kids come up and throw rocks at the convoys, and sometimes them rocks are grenades.
The indignities which our Muslim brothers and sisters had to face could be directed to people of any religion at any time if we were ready to have them.
And what they want to do, I mean, if you come and kill my family, I mean, it's a common sense. I mean, if somebody come and kills your family, it doesn't matter who, you're going to have hate for them, and you wanted to go and get your revenge somehow.
The first rule of war is understand thine enemy, which I think we've really failed at, that we don't know what motivates people.
We come from collectivism to individualism. Collectivism is we live and die for our family. Much here is more of an individualism where everybody's for their own.
It's merely a matter of, oh, well, they hate us, so they want to kill us, so let's just fight them back. Well, you really have to understand the root causes of where that hatred comes from, and a lot of it comes from our own actions.
Instead of trying to make everything better, they were basically making it worse, because, I mean, they killed innocent people now.
I think as a Muslim, you do have the honor to protect your mother and your sister.
We are all interdependent and interconnected. That there is something that unites us in a deep way as human beings, as citizens of a common planet. And that race, color, creed, those things which some would use to divide us are actually refractions of a single beam of light through the prism of our humanity.
Yet,
if we want to prevent another 9/11, you can't do that by establishing a national security state. But you can do that through a compassionate approach, international relations, and opening up our hearts and dealing with people as they are. Look, is it possible that there are people in the world who want to hurt us? Yes, that is possible. I don't advocate disbanding all protection. We have a right to defend ourselves. But we also have to be smart enough to understand when government officials are creating conditions which make us a target.
Media is switching that from the political point of view into the religious point of view. Now they're openly saying that this is a war against Islam, and I don't think that is a good idea.
We live in very desperate times right now. I think that if you look back through history, when a country's going through very tough times, economically, socially, you always have people that turn towards the fringe, that turn towards the fringes. We saw it in the 30s with Father Coughlin, the anti-Semite. We saw it in the 50s with people turning to McCarthy. We've seen it throughout, generations.
When religion is made the basis of allegation, then obviously there is no First Amendment. Fox Channel in this case is actually dismantling the First Amendment, separation of church and state.
If people are curious as to why people think he's a Muslim, which I don't think he's a Muslim, then they should look into his actions. They're getting that opinion from somewhere, and it's not from anything other than what Obama does and says.
That shows the bigotry of the people, not all of the people, but some of the people at Fox News who think religion itself and Islam itself is a basis of disqualification. That will have serious consequences for Christians living in the Muslim countries. We are opposed to any bigotry here, we are opposed to any bigotry there. So I think this is only very outdated, old-fashioned, racist and bigoted thinking, which is in the process of dying its natural death.
I don't know if he's really a Muslim, but the guy has an idea that he does not want any one particular nation or the religion to be outcasted. I think he's, in that ideology, I think he's one of the best presidents we have.
South Lebanon was just devastated. We went south of the Litani River, and everywhere we looked, everything was crushed. Thousands and thousands of structures reduced to rubble. And homes and businesses and farms were bombed, and plantations were bombed, and sports places and cemeteries. Everywhere you looked, there was devastation. And everywhere you looked, there were little clustered bomblets that did not explode, that were dropped on South Lebanon, and some of them had the name California on them. They were made in the United States, okay? There were banners everywhere we went that said, "America, this is your democracy." Wherever we went, there was the smell of death. There were thousands of people. The official count said 1,100 died. There had to be more. There were people buried in rubble. A hand came around to comfort me. We love America. We don't like what your government does, but we love the American people. We want peace. We don't hate Israel. We want to live in peace. Here were people who were stripped bare, who lost their families and lost everything that they ever lived for and with. And they were suddenly summoning up the power of their own humanity to forgive and to offer a willingness to be able to love again.
Everybody's getting a challenge right now. It's gonna take many, many years. Maybe I would say maybe over 20 years to fix this, or forget about it and go back to the normal before, before 9/11. I mean, it affected totally everybody.